Hey everyone, welcome back to our second webcast in our year-end education series. In this edition, we're going to walk through everything you need to know to ensure a successful update and installation. We're also going to spend time in your Integrity Data Feature Manager window and highlight some of the exciting things for you and your payroll and HR teams. So let's go. Let's start by highlighting some of the details of this webcast. We will spend most of our time right in the application, but here is a summary of what we're going to cover. First, the downloads and install options, taking a look at what versions are available, what are the differences between Standard and Standard Plus, what is included on the downloads page that is important for you to know. Next, we'll talk about the Integrity Data Feature Manager window. Everything you need to know to use your current features and turn on new ones to streamline your payroll processes, all without having to wait and talk about how our subscriptions work and what to watch for in the future. We'll also talk about our support options, take a look at our resource center that is full of information, when and how to log a support case with us, and when to go to Microsoft. Let's start with the version options. There are 3 options available on the downloads page right now: the March mid-year release, the October release, and the year-end release. Yes, the year-end release is ready and available, and each includes 2 different options. One is for the standard install. So the standard install is all things integrity data that you know and love. Our Standard Plus install includes all features, including the new Payroll Extensions, PTO Manager, Advanced Payroll, and Advanced HR. Remember that effective March 2022, the Microsoft Media does not include these Plus features. So if you are using these, you will need to use the Standard Plus version for your year-end. And you will need to ensure that these are registered with us. There is a link to the registration page on our Resource Center that will take you to that. And if you haven't already, take a peek at our first webcast where these details were also provided. That'll give you some more information. One other thing as a reminder, around July of 2021, our updates have not required registration keys. Our cloud services connection does everything it needs to get you up and running quickly and easily. So there's no need to contact us with this request because they're not needed. Just simply download, install, and you'll be on your way. Our team has also worked really hard to create an installation guide that provides all of the details required for a successful install. These also include notes, release notes, as well as an FAQ document. So while we are not on the New York Times bestseller list, I can guarantee that the read is worthwhile and will ensure that your install is fast and successful. So welcome to our Integrity Data Feature Manager. We like to refer to this as all things integrity data that you will ever need in one window. We will take a deeper dive into the workings of this and how easy it is to use, and some of the things that I'm going to highlight include your account information, your version details, all of the integrity data features, your license details and what you are using, which companies you have selected to use these features in, and your current active employee counts and the tiers that you're on. While we love this new way of adding new features and maintaining your existing features, we also understand that there are additional considerations to this. Users who have access to this window have the ability to control what features are turned on, when they're turned on, and for what company. This also has billing implications. So customers who are currently active on our legacy licensing model will continue to see their annual enhancement renewal from their partner. You have also been set up in our system as ready to turn on any new features that you would like to start using. New features as they are turned on will be considered on our monthly subscription model. We call this PEPM, or per employee per month. In other words, or simply put, if the feature has an expiry date, that is legacy enhancement renewal billing, which is an annual renewal based on a selected maximum employee count. If there is no expiry date and the feature is active, this is billed monthly based on usage. Usage for us is defined as the total number of active employees who receive a payment from you in the month. The number of billing employees are displayed beside the company list on this window for each feature. And for reference, I have provided a pricing chart on the next slide that does list the fees per month for each feature. Just remember also that payroll extensions features are available to everyone at no cost. Here's the sheet that you can reference if you come back to this webcast. So let's jump into GP and take a tour of the Feature Manager window in a little more detail. So everyone should be able to see my GP screen. So let's first talk about what happens after the installation. Once you have installed and you launch GP as administrator, the first thing you'll do based on the steps in the installation guide is complete the data model update. And when that has completed, that will open the Feature Manager window. If you need to get back to the Feature Manager window, how do I do that? Well, let's talk about the navigation. So Microsoft Dynamics GP, Tools, Setup, System, Integrity Data, Payroll Feature Manager. Okay, and that will open up the Feature Manager window. All right. So the information at the top refers to your customer information. We have your site name, we have your Microsoft account number, and this account ID is your Integrity Data Cloud ID. So that's the number that we use to reference your account to make sure that everything's working properly. Underneath that are the version details. Currently, we have an installed version, and the year-end version is 18.0.111. And then here we'll have our latest available version. So if you've installed this already in your environment, you will notice that the latest version would be 18.0.111. If you are a current standard install, you can use the upgrade version to upgrade standard to standard. If you need to add the standard plus version now for year end, that will still be a download from our website. The upgrade version just works currently with the standard, although in the future that will change. But just note that for this year. Okay. So how do I know what features are active? So if you have current integrity data features on your account with us after you install, those features will be noted here as active equals yes. Okay. If you are a legacy licensing customer with an annual renewal for those features, you will see an expiry date in this column. Okay. If you are using or have been registered for the Payroll Extensions, PTO Manager, or the Advanced HR and Payroll features, those features will need to be turned on. And the reason they need to be turned on is because we bundle those just like Microsoft used to. So we don't know which one of those individual features you may be using. So those will need to be made active. Okay, so let's say, for example, you are using employee health and wellness. That will need to be changed to yes. Once you've done that, the feature selected down here will be visible, and then you can select the companies that you're going to be using that feature in. Okay, once you've done that, you'll click here on Save, and you will be prompted with a message. Okay, so this talks about the invoicing message that we talked about a few minutes ago. All right, so this will then be subject to the per employee per month fee, and an invoice will be generated for that new feature. All right, so simply click OK. If you're adding a new feature that way, then you will be required to log out of GP and log back in again so that the menus relating to that feature then become visible to the users. Also note that if the user is not set up as a power user, you may still need to go in and update their security roles to give them access to those menus. You should be able to get all that information through the user guides that will explain what Windows reports the users need to have access to. Okay. So down here below is the company list. So do remember that if you're going to update companies, you need to select each feature individually. Okay, so I can see here with my paycheck what if calculator as an example, I've only got this turned on in FabricHam right now. If you turn this on into a live production company, if there are active employees in that production company, they will show up here for the subscription. Those will be your billing employees, an estimate per month based on your active employee count. Okay. It is possible to have a combination of both legacy licensed features as well as subscription features. Okay, so you may see that some of your features might have an expiry date and others do not. Okay, and that's okay. You can have a combination of both. In terms of the expiry date, it is important to note that if you are approaching your expiry date, the feature will actually turn off if you go beyond that date. So it is important to make sure that you're current on your renewal dates so that our enhancement renewal dates can be updated for the next year so that you don't lose access to that feature. So that is important to note. The other thing that's important to note is your employee counts. So we've had some situations recently where folks have exceeded their employee count. So how do I check to see? Any feature that you have with an expiry date would likely be put onto one of our license tiers. So to check to see what your employee counts are, just simply choose the feature you're looking at, click on the blue arrow, and that will take you to our feature details. Okay. Now in the feature details window, there will be a description of that feature. And then down here at the bottom, you will see your renewal date and your allowed number of employees. And remember, those are active employees based on your About Microsoft Dynamics GP, the count that shows up here. Okay. If you're considering turning on a new feature and you're not sure what it does, you can access information directly from our website right from the Feature Manager window. Still on the Feature Details page, by clicking on this blue arrow, will take you directly to the details of that feature. And this is all accessible also on our website. Okay, so you can always see what that feature does, and then you can decide whether or not that's going to be applicable in your environment, and then it's just a matter of turning it on, logging out, logging back in, and you're good to go. Simple as that. There are also messages here that we will be pushing out. So it's a good idea to get used to this window and be able to see what opportunities there might be, what new features are coming. As well, you can get directly to our Integrity Data website from here. So that's how our Feature Manager window works. So let's go back to our slide presentation now. So let's talk about support. The team at Integrity Data is definitely here to support you. We do want to talk about the resources that are available to you so that you can get answers to your questions. So what are the resources that we have available? So first of all, if you have not taken a trip through our Resource Center, you should take some time to get familiar with this. There is a great amount of content on this site that is 100% available to you. It does not require a login or password and is super user-friendly. The site is organized by solution, so you will find HRP for GP, along with ACA, as well as Business Central. Within each solution is access to all of the feature user guides, KB articles, and our recorded webcasts. Now, if you can't find what you need to answer your questions in the Resource Center, then there's always our support portal. Our support portal is designed so that when you submit a support case, the details you provide will create a support case that will be assigned to one of our support specialists who will be happy to assist you. Keep in mind that support requests for consulting, training, or installation support may be subject to a fee for this service. Your support specialist will provide more details and estimates once the details of the support issue has been evaluated by them. They'll have a better idea of what is actually involved to help out. And also don't forget that there's a great amount of content on the Dynamics community site, and Microsoft is always available to support you on questions relating to the core GP and HR solutions. Let's go and jump into our Resource Center, and I'll show you a little bit about how we use that. So here's our Integrity Data website. So how do we get to our Resource Center from our website? So first of all, our website address is www.integrity-data.com. This will take you directly to the home page. The Resource Center is right here at the top. So if we click on there, that'll take us right to the Resource Center. So here's where we're organized. HRP for BC, HRP for GP, and ACA compliance. Let's look at HRP for GP. So as I mentioned earlier, this includes our knowledge base articles, our user guides, year-end information, as well as our HR and Payroll Suite modules updates. This is a really important piece right now. This is where we're going to be finding a lot of the webcast information, as well as other articles that we're going to be posting. So keep checking back here. And like I said, you don't require a login to get here. It's wide open. The Feature Manager window explained also has details of what we just went through in the GP presentation. This is a document that gets into a little more detail. The customer registration, if you need to get to the registration, you can get there directly from here. And this is episode 1 of our education series. Okay. Now, if you're looking for something specific, there's no need to spend a lot of time searching around in here for anything in particular. For example, if you wanted to get information on our email suite, you can simply here just type in email in our search here, and it will give you a list of all of the results for that topic. Okay, so again, you don't have to dive in and start navigating around. We've made this as easy as possible so that you can get to what you need faster than waiting for one of us to get back to you through a support call. But if you do need to log a support issue, let's go back to integrity data and let's go to support. So this support page will provide you with a support portal form that you can fill out and submit to us. This will make its way to us fairly quickly, that will then be assigned. So it's important to provide as many details as possible when you're logging a support ticket so that we can answer your question fairly quickly. So that's another option. And as I mentioned before, there's lots of information on the Dynamics community site as well that you can access. So let's talk about some of the other things that we have coming up. So on Friday this week, we will actually have a live panel discussion relating to our GP payroll and HR changes. So this is an opportunity for anybody to attend, to ask questions. When you register, there is a chance to put questions in there ahead of time so that we can take a look at those and make sure that we're prepared. But it is an opportunity for a live discussion. On December 13th, Shelley, Austin, and myself will be doing our annual year-end webinar, which is a live webinar. That's the one where we will talk about all of the things to year-end and changes to everything in 2023 as it relates to GP. We might have some other people attend, but for now it's just us. So we look forward to seeing you there. And thank you all for taking the time to watch this. We do look forward to connecting with you on our live panel on December 2nd and working with you through the rest of this year-end season.